Hi, my name is Sean Stewart. I am a financial educator and coach. Also, I have been working in the financial services industry, which includes credit repair, mortgages, insurance, and real estate for over 20 years. I've spoken to thousands of people over the years, people of all races, ethnicities, and backgrounds, from customer service reps, managers, teachers, nurses, business owners, and people of other industries. Half of them have all said the same thing. If I had only learned in school how money and credit worked, I would not have made the mistakes I have made. I once had a consultation with a really good doctor. He told me that he felt like a failure because of poorly handling his finances. How is it you could go through school, earn a degree, go to medical school and complete it, become a doctor, and have problems handling your finances? For me, I remember it all too well. It hurt bad for when I failed myself and my family with how badly I was handling my money. I will say it's not easy to come back after hearing the words, "You are turned down." How many of you feel that financial education should have been part of our school curriculum? You go to school, you learn math, English, science, and these subjects are important. But can they really prepare us for the world that we're about to walk into? Many nationalities and ethnicities, particularly people of color, face the disheartening message that they are not good enough, especially when they are being traumatized by the harsh reality of being underserved, have experienced and continuing to experience unequal treatment. Is it not as simple as financial experts often portray it to be when it comes to getting back on track and improving both one's finances and credit, unless you first address the emotional pain you are dealing with? It can be challenging to efficiently manage your money. To be honest, I don't believe that mismanaging our finances and our credit is completely our fault. But it is our fault if we become aware of our mismanagement with our money and we choose to do nothing about it. When I was old enough to start making money, I would spend it all buying the nice things that the people on the other side of the tracks had, hoping that I would be accepted by them. I would make money, and like my grandmother used to say, "Boy, that money's burning your pockets," meaning that as soon as I made the money, you better believe I was out spending it. Then in college, I was introduced to credit cards and student loans. For me, that meant spending sprees, free money, and all I had to do was make small monthly payments. If I made the payments on time, guess what? They would increase my limits. On another note, I had success working in corporate America. It is undeniable that people need to spend money, but it is crucial to exercise wisdom in our spending habits. The responsibility for overspending on things beyond our means does not solely lie with big business. However, beware. Corporate America invests billions in strategizing for when we are of age to start using credit. They know more about us than we know about ourselves when it comes to our spending habits. TV, radio, social media are all pushing advertisements that are meant for us to go and buy things over and over again. It gets into your subconscious mind. Where they really get us is with expensive things like designer suits, Air Jordans, Coach, and fancy jewelry. They tell us we need to have it because all the famous people have it. Even if we can't afford it, they say not to worry. They offer us small monthly payments of, let's just say, $70 a month. But what we don't realize is that the interest rate is actually 21% or higher. It will take us 8 long years to pay off the original $3,000 at 21% interest, and in the end, we would have to pay back $8,000. If you put $8,000 into an investment account earning 10% interest, it has the potential to grow significantly over time. After 5 years, it can be worth $12,000. And after 10 years, it could be worth $21,000. Instead of buying Nike and Adidas and Apple products just to wear them, become an owner in those businesses. You should buy shares of their stock. Being an owner can build wealth, while being a consumer can take money away from you. Will you invest in what you love to wear and have? Yes or yes? Then for me, the financial storm happens. It happens to all of us, right? All of us who haven't really made the best decisions with our money. When I lost my job back in 2008, I almost lost everything. The truth of the matter is, it could have been prevented. If I hadn't been living paycheck to paycheck and I saved some money from each and every one of my checks, I would have been good. But I didn't know any better. This is why I started my organization, to help people through financial storms. Right now, my organization gets the call once the storm has started. When a client is dealing with aggressive collection agencies, getting sued, or need credit repair, my goal is to reach as many people as possible to empower them with financial literacy step by step so that they don't have to make the mistakes that my clients and I made. I want people to have financial peace, which comes from learning and then taking action. Statistics show that 1 in 4 people have low credit scores that cause them to not qualify or to pay higher interest rates. People of color have lower credit scores, get turned down for loans more often, and pay even higher interest rates. People are stuck in survival mode, just getting by. No emergency fund, little to no savings. Statistics show that over 40% of individuals could not come up with $400 for an emergency unless they borrowed it. 50% of Americans do not have any money saved for when they want to stop working. That means if they continue to live like they are today, they will never be able to stop working without family or hoping for public assistance. Money and credit can ruin your life when you are failing with how you use them. This is the thing to remember. We have to stop this generational curse. When I was young, my mom would tell me to tell collection agencies she wasn't home. We are made to prosper, not to be indebted to the point where we have to lie, hide, and not pay our bills. When I meet with people who are hurting and how they handle their money, I tell them, I understand. I have been in their shoes. I could see their stress levels calm. You see, most people who have made mistakes with their finances don't talk to anyone about it. They keep it all bottled up inside for fear of judgment. They are embarrassed and ashamed. I was always looking over my shoulder at when will the next collection agency come after me? Okay. So you have made it out of the storm, but you are just getting by. Have you ever wondered if this is all worth it? Is there more to life than this? Should you just be satisfied with getting by, or should you chase after your dreams? Okay, let's change the subject. Let's talk about what comes with good money and credit habits. Dream with me for a minute. What does your dream lifestyle look like? How would it feel to step into your new home you've always wanted for you and your family? Can you imagine taking vacations with your family and creating memories that last a lifetime? To stop working sooner than later, if you choose. To build generational wealth. Generational wealth to me is not just money. It's about teaching the next generation how to handle money and credit wisely so they can continue our legacy. It also involves being generous and giving back. Let's talk about the credit solutions. If you have low credit scores, the credit law states that if you do not pay your bills on time, they'll put you in credit prison for 7 to 10 years. I don't know about you, but that's a long time. Most people who have poor credit give up. They see fixing their credit like going to IKEA, purchasing a 35-piece dresser set without instructions or an owner's manual. I wrote a do-it-yourself book. It is called It Starts With Your Credit. You can get a physical or digital version on Amazon. If you don't have time to repair your credit yourself, we provide credit repair services. The first step to credit improvement is understanding how credit works. The most popular credit scoring model is called FICO. The second most popular credit scoring model is the Vantage Score. This can be confusing because you go to sites like CreditWise and and they tell you that your credit score is 680, and then you go to buy a car and you're told that your score is 580. It's because FICO scores and Vantage scores calculate their scores differently. FICO scores rule when it comes to loans, and Vantage scores with credit cards, or when you are pulling your own credit. Benefits of credit. So far, I've been talking about using your credit as a bad thing. Using credit wisely has major benefits. You have to have discipline though. Like buying a home. It could cost you $500,000. Most people don't have that kind of cash laying around. They have to use credit. To begin with, 35% of our credit score is bill payment history. By making your payments on time, you get most to all of the 35%. Making them late or never making your payments, you get little to none of the 35%. This is roughly 298 points. Under FICO, credit scores range from 300 to 850. If you have poor credit, the good news is you can make major changes to improve your credit if you learn how. Through credit disputing, you can remove negative items from your credit report. Most lenders and creditors still do some of their work manually. Let's say you're on the job for, say, 7 hours, and I got 3 hours of sleep the previous night. I am sick, and my 6-year relationship with my partner just ended. On top of that, I have to type 60 words a minute, inputting credit information into my work computer. Is it possible that I could make a mistake? These type of mistakes are what get negative items deleted from our credit report if we dispute them, which can have a huge positive impact on our credit scores. Next is credit utilization, making up 30%, equating to 255 points. With this part of the credit scoring model, you can improve your credit scores the fastest. Revolving accounts get us the most points. It involves your balance compared to your credit limit. I had a client who was paying $1,000 a month for his used truck. Nice truck, but not worth $1,000 a month. As we were disputing his negative accounts, we advised him to get 2 $300 secured cards and to only use 10% of the balance. We tell him, go out, use 10%, pay it off, and repeat. Then we advised him to get on his fiance's credit card as an authorized user. His credit scores improved 70 points in 3 months. Length of credit history makes up 15% of our credit score. What length of credit history means is making your payments on time for long periods of time. Credit cards are best here. For loans, when you pay them off, it cuts off your payment history. I had a client who paid off a $100,000 mortgage and his credit score only went up 5 points. Another client paid off his $200 credit card balance and his credit score jumped 20 points. See the difference? Inquiries. There are hard and soft inquiries. Hard inquiries make up 10% of our credit scores. Inquiries happen when you go and you buy something. I was at Macy's the other day. The cashier asked me to apply for a credit card and I would receive 10% off my purchase. If I had applied, it would have lowered my credit score by up to 10%. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it could have made the difference when making a purchase such as a vehicle. My payment could have gone from $500 a month to $525, for example. Soft inquiries do not hurt your credit scores. They are when your credit is pulled by, say, cell phone companies, insurance companies, utilities, and the like, or if you are pulling your own credit. This is where having credit cards, loans, and home loans helps you get the majority, if not all, of the 10%. A home is one of the number one ways to build wealth. When you have your own home, paint the walls your favorite colors, change out the flooring, build a deck, remodel the kitchen. It's your home. And most of the time, your home will go up in value while you are paying it down, giving you equity, which is another word for more money, more money. This story is why I decided to make credit and money management my future. I had a client who was going to die of brain cancer. He was in his late 30s. He and his wife and their family came to me in tears and said, I don't have long to live. My dying wish is, can you help me get a home for my family before I die? His finances were poor as well as his credit. The good news is that my team and I were able to help him fix all of that and purchase a home. I was so excited, while at the same time, my heart hurt for his family that he would leave behind as he transitioned. I think of another story that's dear to my heart. When I was 20, my grandmother passed away. She was an amazing, strong woman. I loved being with her, attending church all day long on Sundays and not even questioning it because I was with her. My grandmother passed without money for her funeral. I was left responsible for her funeral. I had only been to a few funerals in my life. I had no clue how to organize one. What I did know was it cost money and I didn't have any. I was able to go to church and my church gave me the money. Please make sure you leave money for your loved ones when you pass, not just funeral costs, but money to help them get ahead in life. I am sure my grandmother, who passed away much sooner than she should have, if she had known, she would have purchased life insurance. To end, the real solution for all of us is to understand our current money and credit behavior and develop a plan that leads to financial independence. It will happen by taking one step at a time, and over time, you will succeed. We owe it to our ancestors. Their prayers and sacrifices have given us the opportunity to get out of debt, own our own home, and grow wealth. How are we honoring them? If you would like more information on the steps you could take to have financial peace, get in touch with me. My team and I can give you the resources you need to reach your financial destiny. Thank you.